In the year 2273, Earth was quiet. For the first time in many years, there were no wars. Countries had finally found peace after centuries of fighting. People worked together. They looked up at the stars, not with fear, but with hope, the united. Earth Fleet was Earth's space defense and exploration group. Their ships were fast and strong. They explored far parts of the galaxy, always searching for new life. But most of the time, they found nothing. Space was big, cold, and empty. Then, one day, everything changed. In a control room on Earth's moon base, a young officer named Jiho sat in front of a screen. He was quiet and serious, only 25 years old, but already trusted by many. His job was to watch for any unknown signals. Most of the time, it was just space noise. But this day was different. A strange sound came from the speaker. Jiho looked at the screen. The signal was repeating. It was not random. It was not natural. Jiho frowned. This. This is a distress signal, he whispered. He pressed the red button that alerted the fleet command. The message was old, broken, but clear. Help us, anyone. This is the Alari people. We are dying. Please, if you hear this, help. The room filled with voices. Officers ran. Lights blinked. The message had coordinates. It came from a star system far away, farther than any human ship had gone before. Fleet Command held a meeting. Senior officers, scientists, and world leaders watched the message again and again. Some wanted to ignore it. It could be a trap. Others said Earth should stay quiet. Humans had only recently found peace. Why get involved in another species' problems? But Captain Su-jin, one of the youngest captains in the fleet, stood up. Her black uniform was simple, but she carried it with pride. She had flown ships through storms and asteroid fields. She believed in helping others, no matter where they came from. If they are asking for help, she said, and we are strong enough to give it, then we should go. Her words echoed in the room. Jiho watched her from the back. He had seen her on the news before. Now she looked even braver in real life. A few hours later, a decision was made. A small team would go. They would fly fast, stay careful, and see what was really happening out there. The ship was named Hwarang. It was one of Earth's newest ships, fast and strong. Su-jin was the captain. Jiho was chosen as the communication officer. He couldn't believe it. This was his first mission in deep space. There were others too. Daeun, the pilot, quiet but skilled. Yuna, the engineer, always smiling even in hard times. Minji, the medic, who carried a picture of her son everywhere she went. As the Hwarang lifted off, Earth became a small blue dot behind them. Prepare for jump, said Su-jin. The stars stretched, and the ship jumped faster than light. The journey took days. During that time, the crew trained, checked systems, and listened to the Alari message again and again. They didn't know what the Alari looked like. The message only had voices, crying, coughing, begging. It made everyone on the ship feel sad. When they arrived at the star system, they saw a planet that was once green, now covered in smoke. Large fires burned across its surface. Satellites floated in pieces. Orbiting stations were broken. Looks like they were attacked, said Daeun, his hands on the controls. They scanned for life. There's a small base still sending weak signals, said Jiho. It's under a mountain, very deep underground. Prepare the landing shuttle, ordered Su-jin. The shuttle flew through thick clouds. Ash floated in the air. The ground was cracked. They found the entrance to the underground base. It was half buried, but the doors opened slowly when they sent a human ID signal. Inside, the lights flickered. Strange symbols were on the walls. They saw them, the Alari. They were thin, pale creatures with long eyes and soft, glowing skin. They looked weak and tired. Some were hurt. Many were too quiet to speak. One of them stepped forward. She wore a silver band on her head. You heard us, she said in a shaky voice. We thought We were alone. Sujin knelt down. You're not alone anymore. Yuna quickly worked to fix the base's broken power lines. Minji helped. The sick, Jiho set up a clear link back to Earth. They had found the Ilari, and the Ilari were real. Who did this? Asked Sujin. The Ilari leader looked at the sky. They are still out there, she whispered. And they will come back. The crew of the Warang looked at each other. The mission had only just begun. And somewhere in the dark space above, something dangerous waited. The crew of the Warang worked quickly. The underground Ilari base was falling apart. Lights flickered. Water leaked from pipes. The air smelled like smoke and rust. Jiho sat beside a young Ilari boy who was coughing. He gave the boy clean water and placed a warm blanket over him. You're safe now, Jiho said gently. The boy nodded but did not smile. Captain Sujin walked with the Ilari leader, Cyril, through the dark halls. Cyril looked weak, but her eyes were still sharp. We hid underground when the sky fell, she said. We had no weapons. We never thought anyone would attack us. Who attacked you? Sujin asked again. Cyril stopped near a broken wall. She placed her hand on it. They are called the Gorath. Machines, but alive. They do not speak. They do not feel. They only destroy. Sujin listened carefully. The Gorath were new. Earth had never heard of them. If these creatures were real, they could be a danger to everyone, not just the Ilari. We sent out a signal many times, Cyril said. No one answered until you came. Sujin looked at her. We heard you, and we will not leave you. Back. On the Warang, Yuna checked the ship's systems. Everything's working, she said. But I don't like the readings from orbit. What do you see? Asked Dayan. She pointed at the screen. Something big, moving fast. It's coming toward us. Sujin returned to the ship and looked at the data. A large object was approaching the planet. It was not a ship from Earth. It had no signal, no ID, no lights. Just dark metal floating through space. It's one of them, Jiho said. One of the Gorath. Sujin made a decision. We need to protect the Ilari. Prepare the ship for defense. Dayan quickly ran to the pilot's seat. Yuna and Jiho worked on shields and weapons. Minji returned to the ship to help move the Ilari to safety. Soon, the dark ship came closer. It was huge, 3 times the size of the Warang. It didn't send any message. It didn't try to talk. It just opened fire. Brace for impact. Sujin shouted. Lasers shot through space. The Warang dodged left and right. Dayan's hands flew across the controls. The ship shook as one. Blast hit the side. Shields down to 60%, Yuna said. We can't take too many hits. Return fire, Sujin ordered. The ship's cannons lit up. They fired back. One shot hit the enemy's wing, but the Gorath ship didn't stop. They're not afraid of damage, Jiho said. They don't feel pain. They don't care if they die, Sujin added. They only want to destroy. Then something unexpected happened. More objects appeared on the radar. 3 more Gorath ships were outnumbered, Dayan said. We have to leave. Sujin shook her head. Not yet. We need more time to move the Ilari. Minji's voice came over the radio. I need 5 more minutes. Hold the line, Sujin said. The Warang fought hard. It dodged, fired, and moved fast through space. But the Gorath ships kept coming. One shot hit the engine. Main thrusters offline. Yuna shouted. Sujin stood tall. Get me a clear shot at their center. Dayan nodded. Lining it up now. The Warang spun and moved between the enemy ships. Then, it fired a full blast at the center of the first Gorath ship. The explosion was massive. We got one. Jiho cheered, but the others were still coming. Then, just as hope was fading, a new signal appeared. Captain, look, Jiho said. New ships are coming in. 3 human ships jumped out of hyperspace. One of them was the TCS Jinju, a heavy-class warship. Its captain, Major Kyung, sent a message. "We received your emergency signal. We're here to help." Sujin smiled. "You came just in time." The human ships joined the fight. Together, they targeted the next Gorath ship. Their combined firepower was strong. Another enemy ship exploded. The last two tried to escape, but the Jinju followed them. After a short chase, both Gorath ships were destroyed. The space was quiet again, inside. The Ilari base, the last group of survivors, was safe. Minji helped an old Ilari woman onto the shuttle. She looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thank you." Sujin met with Major Kyung on the bridge of the Hwarang. "We can't let this happen again," he said. "If the Gorath are out here, we need to stop them before they find Earth." Sujin nodded. "We need more ships, more help. But first, we take care of the Ilari." They sent a message back to Earth. "The Ilari are real. They are peaceful. They need protection. And the Gorath are coming." The leaders on Earth listened. For the first time in years, they faced a true danger from beyond the stars. But they were not afraid. The United Earth Fleet began to prepare. Sujin looked at her crew. They were tired, but alive. Jiho sat quietly, holding a small drawing one of the Ilari children had given him. It was a picture of a human ship, flying through stars, saving a planet. "We did good today," Jiho said. Sujin nodded. "Yes, but this is just the beginning." Far in the dark parts of the galaxy, other Gorath ships began to move. But now, humanity knew they were not alone. And they would not run, that they would stand. They would fight. They would protect. The sky over Ilari's broken planet was quiet now. Smoke still rose from the cities, and the ground was scarred from past battles. But deep below, in the underground shelters, there was light and hope that the human ships stayed in orbit. More arrived each day. Medical ships, engineers, supply ships, all came to help the Ilari people. The once lonely world was now full of life and support. Captain Sujin stood on the bridge of the Hwarang, looking at the stars through the wide glass window. Jiho stood beside her, reading new signals. Daehan was at the controls, and Yuna was checking systems. "We've done so much," Sujin said softly. "But I feel the fight isn't over." She was right. That night the warning came. A large signal appeared on the outer edge of the system. Jiho stared at the screen. "This is not like before," he said. "It's not 3 ships. It's not 5. How many?" asked Daehyun. Jiho looked up. "Over 20, maybe more. It's a Gorath invasion fleet." Everyone went quiet. The TCS Jinju, the largest human ship in the system, sent a message. Major Kyung's voice was calm but serious. "They're here. All ships, prepare for battle." In the shelter, Ilari families hugged each other. Some cried. But this time, they were not alone. Captain Sujin called a meeting on her ship. All officers came, along with leaders from the other human ships. Cyril, the Ilari leader, joined them through a video screen. "The Gorath want to finish what they started," said Sujin. "But we won't let them. We'll fight beside you." Cyril said, "We have engineers and pilots. We will help." "Good," said Major Kyung. "We need every hand." The plan was simple, but risky. The Gorath ships would enter the system fast. Human and Ilari forces would form a line in space, a wall to protect the planet. Behind the wall, engineers worked day and night to finish an old Ilari defense system, a giant space cannon hidden in a mountain. If they could power it in time, it could destroy the biggest enemy ship. The next day, the battle began. The black shapes of the Gorath fleet moved in like a dark wave. They had no lights, no colors, no faces. Just metal and death. The Hwarang flew. In front, leading a squad of smaller ships. Sujin's voice came over the radio. "Hold the line. No one gets past us." Lasers and missiles filled space. Explosions lit up the stars. Dayan flew the ship fast, dodging Goroth fire. Jiho shouted enemy positions. Yuna kept the shields working, even as parts of the ship sparked and smoked. "We're hit on the left side." She yelled, "Keep moving." Sujin ordered. Behind them, the Ilari cannon powered up. Cyril and her team worked with Yuna's instructions. Jiho guided them by radio. "Almost there," he said. "You're doing great." Suddenly, a massive Goroth ship moved forward. It was bigger than the rest. Its center glowed red. It was the leader ship, the one that had destroyed the Ilari cities years ago. Sujin saw it on the screen. "Target. That ship, all fire on it." But the Goroth ship had stronger shields. Human weapons bounced off its armor. "We need more power," said Dayan. "We can't stop it like this." Jiho's eyes widened. "The cannon! It has to fire now!" In the mountains, Cyril shouted over the radio. "Charging! Just 10 more seconds." The leader Goroth ship aimed at the planet. Sujin looked at her crew. "This is it." Yuna suddenly had an idea. "Captain, if we get closer, we can draw their fire away from the planet." "It's a suicide run," Dayan said. Sujin nodded. "But it will buy time." The Warang turned sharply and flew straight toward the Goroth leadership. It was small compared to the giant enemy, but it moved fast like a spear. The Goroth ship noticed. Red beams locked onto the Warang. Sujin stood tall. "Hold steady," the enemy fired. The ship shook hard. Alarms rang. Flames burst from the right wing. But they were still flying. "Cannon is ready." Jiho shouted, "Fire!" Sujin ordered. Far below, the mountain opened. A massive beam of light shot into space. It hit the center of the Goroth leader ship. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, boom! The Goroth ship exploded into a fireball. Pieces flew in every direction. Smaller Goroth ships turned and began to scatter. "They're retreating," Dayan said. The human fleet pushed forward. Ship after ship chased the fleeing Goroth. One by one, they were destroyed or driven away. After hours of fighting, silence returned to space. The battle was over. The Warang limped back to the planet. The ship was damaged but still flying. People on the ground cheered. Ilari and humans together cried with joy. Sujin stepped out of the ship and looked at the sky. "We did it," she whispered. Cyril came forward and bowed. "You didn't have to help us," she said. "But you did, and now our people live." Jiho smiled. "We're not alone in the galaxy anymore." Back on Earth, news of the battle spread fast. The leaders saw what the crew of the Warang had done. They saw how humans had saved another species. They saw courage, kindness, and honor. Monuments were built on Ilari's planet, one for the Ilari dead and one for the human fighters. On the side of the monument, these words were written. "When the helpless cried, humanity answered. We came not for war, but for hope." Captain Sujin, Jiho, Dayan, Yuna, and Minji stood together, looking at the stars. The galaxy was full of danger, but also full of light. And the humans would be the light.